Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
So hello, everyone. This is Roger Chen from University of San Francisco Center for Business Studies and Innovation Asia Pacific. First of all, welcome Larry Lee, and thank you for supporting us. Would you please briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, Professor Chen. Thank you for your invitation. It is an honor to be working with you. As myself, my name is Larry Lee. I have a kind of more than 600,000 followers on Douyin, or the Chinese version of TikTok. I'm a founding partner of Amino Capital. The fund has been around for more than 10 years. We're headquartered in downtown Palo Alto. We invest almost 300 companies, and more than 15 of them become a unicorn, and more than 30 of them grow into 100 million to 1 billion valuation companies. We have quite a few partners who has been working together with me on the fund, Amino Capital. We are very technical. Most of them has a PhD in science and engineering. Myself, I have a master degree. That's why I have a called Master Lee, but now this name is not may not be politically correct. So we need to think about a better English name. Very fortunate we got on the Midas list last month, which is like the Oscar for investors. And also, as I mentioned, during the pandemic, in order to work, to communicate with partners and entrepreneurs, I get on the TikTok. Also, during the pandemic, I wrote a book together actually with my team. The title is The Logic of Investment. It's published by Tsinghua publisher. It was written last year actually, but during the pandemic, it was published early this year.
Discussion topic: good venture ideas, small with big potential.
Let's kind of go to one specific area which not only venture capital are interested, but also entrepreneurs are also interested, which is evaluating the size of the opportunities. Because in your book, you also mentioned you, as an entrepreneur or a venture capitalist, you not only need to look at the total addressable market, but also the market opportunity that belongs to a particular venture. For entrepreneur that belongs to your venture. So could you elaborate, how do you kind of evaluate such market opportunities?
For entrepreneurs who actually work on a specific project, it is very important to make something that's useful to some people, not to all the people. Because for early stage or when you just get started, it's very difficult to get into an idea or services that everybody will want, because that kind of thing is for big companies. As early stage startups, you really want to look at something that's very niche, very niche. There are some people who love to use it, but has not got attention from big players yet. So that's the best way to get into the market. But if the market is going to be huge or not, depends on the trend. You really need to figure out, are you doing something using the latest technology? Are you doing something that with the technology development, your opportunity as a company will be much bigger, much larger than the existing players? So the best way to evaluate if a market has a huge potential is by thinking of what kind of new technology that will empower you. And then what kind of social or economic or political trends that will make your product more useful. So that's how you look at it. Because for startups, for early stage, it's very difficult to find an opportunity that's huge, obviously huge. That's not possible. You really have to get into the niche and then grow from there.
That's very, very, very insightful point. Like start with a very, very small, specific field than to kind of project from there. Relating to that, because you know, in your book, you also have a notion that analyzing or forecasting industry development trend is not that important for venture capitalists. So that's a very interesting kind of a point, which seems to me contrast with your early point, also with other people's view. So two questions. One is, what do you mean by this particular point? Second, does this notion also apply to entrepreneur, which means even for entrepreneurs, it's not that crucial to forecast the industry trend. If that is not important for entrepreneur, then what is important with respect to analyzing the market opportunities?
Right. I think a professor is a professor. So it's a very sharp question because on the surface, it's contradicted to the first question, right? On the other hand, if you think about it, now we're all talking about NVIDIA, right? Last Thursday, the stock.
Oh yeah, NVIDIA, right.
Yeah, went up 24%, like close to a $1 trillion company. But when Jensen Huang started a company, he's not thinking about really AI. He's thinking about the graphic, to process the graphic for gaming. So that's all he's thinking about. And at that time, the chips was designed for logical calculation, for numerical calculation, not for graphic. So all he wanted to do is actually to do the graphic chips. So that's a so-called the future, the kind of the foreseeable future for him, right? But in the end, because to process the graphic, you really have to do the parallel processing. And then when the AI take off, his company's valuation just take off. When ChatGPT become really hot, and then his company just close to $1 trillion company. So the point here is, for entrepreneurs, you really need to think of the big picture, the big trend, but not exactly what will happen. What exactly will happen depends on so many things. It can go so many ways. So for entrepreneur, for a business person, the most important thing is to be adaptive, to adjust based on the market condition, based on the latest information. You always need to adjust the directions of a company. And you always need to adjust your team to acquire different kind of talent based on the latest information. So that's what we mean in the book, where you should not try to exactly predict what's the future. Because for the founder of NVIDIA, he might not predict the AI will make him so rich. He did not predict the AI will make NVIDIA so big. He was only thinking about the graphic, the process of graphic for the graphic more efficiently. That's all. Same thing with Google, right? When they started, they just do a search. That's it. And then they keep changing, keep adapt to the new technology, the new social need. But that's what we mean here is there's so many things going on. There are so many factors can change the market direction, the people's need. There's no way you can predict that. So the best way to do it is adapt. So we always emphasize like what Darwin said, right? It's not the strongest survive. It's the most adaptive that survive.
Right.
Thank you for watching.